Today's December 22nd, 2021. Patterns in the news that are interesting today is what the WHO is saying, which is a bit more accountability related than previously done. In essence, they're starting to behave like they should and not, trying to please everybody. It's also interesting to see, like here in Canada or other countries of the world, Israel, China, what are being said by the leaders of these, fictional nations that we still want to believe exist. What is said or not said today. Today is a very significant day to notice as the doctor of humanics, a culture repair, the professor of socio-cybernetics, one who seeks to find the elusive Homo sapien as the one and only ecocentric humanist. It was even interesting that BBC World News showed a lady in the Philippines suffering from the super typhoon, they're calling it, who actually says the real pandemic is a lack of a system. When I send my resumes out in the last year, the ones with the cover letter, because when I send a dumbass resume, it doesn't have a cover letter. But the one that is generalized, hoping for people to appreciate me for the various types of skill sets and different types of intelligence I have as a polymath, is I'll include that cover letter. It says post-social pandemic, because it's not viral as much as it's... people don't like it, and they're kind of not saying it in that way as I have been yet, but this is a pandemic of seeing ourselves in the mirror and how our systems are not human, based on human standards. They lack sentience, they lack sapience, they lack altruism in ways that have never been seen among members of our species. So it's pretty interesting that BBC World News showed the lady from the Philippines saying this. I don't know if other news channels would, but most news channels would show what is coming out of the World Health Organization. Hold on. In Canada here, earlier this week, I went to try to give blood again at Emma, Quebec, local place. And like last year, they said that I have been banned from giving blood because of the potential of a virus from working with, the monkey that I worked with in South Korea. Now, we don't have a system here where I can afford, or even doctors would take me seriously, even though this test exists. It might take a bit of time, and it might be something people have to look up for an extra minute while I'm in their office, but we don't have a system that'll take me seriously so I can give blood. So I can't help you in that way. I can't share my blood with you. As a doctor of humanics, somebody who kind of dedicated his life to be a savior of the human condition. So, and if I get my booster shot when I'm visiting relatives here outside of my province, there's going to be issues, right? There's going to be complications. And there's going to be also things making me sad, because I'm going to see how, like in BC when I got my vaccines, there's going to be a system that appears to be well designed with precautions, but I mean, there's like people on their phones, their phones shouldn't be allowed in that big room or small room or whatever they designed for people to be like cattle herded to in these domesticated centers that lack quality. Is they don't ban the phones of the workers who don't really need them. You don't need your phone during your shift, and you go wash your hands and leave the phone in whatever lunchroom they give you or locker, and then wash your hands after and leave it there. But to have a phone and to see people cross-contaminating, to get a booster shot, when I got my vaccines, it was very different reasons, very different than why other people get vaccines. And when I say that to people that are jumping the gun to judge me about whether I did or I didn't, or and making assumptions about what my reasons are, is nobody ever listens to the entire response of what it could be, right? So it's kind of weird. I mean, you have countries where they'll be stricter. You have countries like here where we have to pay people to do the right thing, where we have to offer these incentives, but we still don't apply the punishments that we decide people should get. And so, there's still a failed system here. It might be that there's a more elaborate illusion of a